Hello friends, my name is Vandrol and this video might be a bit controversial. There's been a lot of things done and said about alt accounts in Guild Wars 2, with a lot of people claiming that buying an alt account is one of the best investments to acquire gold. I am generally somewhat of a skeptic, and I often need to see to believe it, if you will. So I set out for myself to calculate what the value of an alt account would be if we were to buy it today. Mind you, I have zero stakes in this game. I have one single account and I do not plan on ever buying alt accounts, and the reason is simple. I know myself enough by now to know that I will not consistently be logging into the accounts. I would maybe for the first few days, weeks or even months, but there is no chance that I will do every single day of a year or even for the better part of a year. Now, I also don't hold it against anybody who does. I literally have no stake in the game. This video was just to satisfy my own curiosity and I thought I would share it with everyone. Now I'm gonna have to be making an assumption, and that is that we would be logging into the accounts, accepting the daily chest and then logging out immediately. If you only have one or two alt accounts, you could argue that you would do the dailies, and that's fine. But I can't account for every single scenario if you have 1, 2, 5 or more accounts. And I honestly seriously doubt that people with 10, 20 or even more accounts have the resilience to do all of the dailies. There might be an exception to this, and that's a Mystic Forger daily. But then again, 1 or 2 extra Mystic coins won't completely break the math. If you want to add those, just add an extra Mystic coin a month at the end of the video. Now let's start off by simplifying our list, as we can cross off a few items to look at. The celebration booster and transmutation charges will hold no value to us. And I am gonna add Black Lion goods to this list as well, as the chance to get a Black Lion key is so incredibly rare, and then the key being actually worth the assumed 1.5 gold isn't set in stone either. And this brings us to the next category, which I consider to be the easy ones. You get 20 Mystic coins per cycle, which are currently valued at 22 gold, and at least 35 laurels, which are valued at about 15 gold and 23 silver. So that already gets us a little over 37 gold per cycle for a single account. Now next up, we're gonna be looking at some variable values. I'm gonna try to award the most generous value whenever I can, and let's start with the chest of exotic equipment. According to Fast Farming, on average you can just get below 40 silver for the chest that's worth the most. Next up we have the spirit shards. You get 10 tomes of experience per cycle, and here's where I might point something out that not everyone will agree with. I will be valuing these at the best spirit shard conversion rate in the Mystic Forge, and I'm not gonna say that you can use this for a legendary weapon that can be sold on the trading post after. The reason is very simple. Even though you would be able to save up for 20 cycles, so around a year and a half to get the 200 required spirit shards, and in that time period you would even get enough Mystic Clovers from the Chest of Loyalty, as you would only need 11 cycles for those. Our first problem lies in the obsidian shards. Either you have to wait for 31 cycles and a full week to get enough of them, or you will have to farm karma so you can buy them, and with our assumption this is not an option. For those curious and hating the fact that one cycle is 28 days, that would mean you would make one legendary every 2.4 years. And if you aren't convinced yet, let me also add that you would need 500 Tales of Dungeon Delving, and a Gift of Exploration, and a Gift of Battle. In hindsight, I could have started with that information, but I already did all of the maths on the cycle before this, and I didn't want my effort to go to waste. So that means we get 10 spirit shards per cycle, and we can make around 91 silver and 30 copper per shard, or 9 gold and 13 silver per cycle. And with that out of the way, let's talk about luck. You can get 2000 luck per cycle. EOD precursors need these, and it would have been so great to be able to spend it on them. Be it not that you would also need Imperial favors, which once again will not be an option as we're not gonna farm on our alt accounts. The one other thing you could do is save it all up for Lunar New Year and exchange 1k luck for 7 silver and 4 copper when Drewboard is in town. And let's be generous, we're going to add that 14 silver and 8 copper to our cycle and assume you'll trade those in every year. And that brings us to our final item. Be it not that I already explained during the spirit shards bit why going for a chest of legendary goods is not an option, I would have had to explain it here actually. So the next best thing we can do is exchange this chest for laurels. So let's add 20 laurels to the list, which is another 8 gold, 70 silver and 60 copper. So that means we have our full list. We have our 20 mystic coins, which are worth roughly 22 gold, 55 laurels, 35 coming from the standard rewards and 20 from the chest of loyalty, which is 23 gold and 94 silver. Our chest of exotic equipment adds just under 40 silver. Our tomes of experience will add another 9 gold and 13 silver to the cycle. And let's go nuts and let's add the other 14 silver and 8 copper from the luck. That means you are getting 55 gold and 61 silver per cycle. And with there being 13 cycles in a year, you almost get 723 gold per year. Something I neglected to mention is that I didn't add TP taxes. If you plan on getting actual gold hard cash, or gold in this case, you would need to subtract 15%, which brings us down to 614.5 gold. Now we aren't done yet. We know how much gold we get per year, but let's take a look at what an alt account actually costs. And to do this, I need to find a way to calculate gold to real money. And let's not support the gold sellers, because we're not sending our gold to them anyway. I am doing this in euro, as that's the continent I spawned on, but if you prefer freedom currency, the euro US dollar is currently at around 1.08, so just multiply the values and you'll have your freedom number. So 722 gold and 93 silver is a total of 2017 gems. This is valued at 25.21 euro. If you want to include the trading post taxes, that's 1715 gems, or an equivalent of about 21 euros and 43 cents. Which brings me to my next point. You will need to purchase at least one of the expansions to benefit from these login rewards. Now, I am gonna be using the official Guild Wars 2 website's prices for this. I am very well aware that there are other mediums of buying the game much cheaper, but with no way of guaranteeing whether you're buying a real legit code or a compromised one that will get banned after a while, which means it's really hard for me to take these into consideration. So that means our current cheapest option is by spending 30 euro on the official ArenaNet website. If we calculate this back to the gold values we're getting, that means 14 to 15 months of daily harvesting to break even on that price before trading post taxes. If you want the post-trading post taxes number, that's just under 16 months of daily harvesting. Now there are ways to reach the break even much faster. If you spend your money on these accounts during a 30% off sale, for example, your amount of months are gonna go down. Another thing I am very well aware of that I haven't included yet, but these values won't mean anything to those players anyway, is that during the GeForce Now promotion, you could sign up for a free heroic edition of Guild Wars 2, and there was no limit on this. There were a lot of people publicly claiming that they've used this to create tens to hundreds of free accounts, but I have no intention or way of verifying this. The break-even point to them doesn't really matter anyway, as they were in profit from day one. Now the final question, is this worth it? I'm gonna be honest, this is not for me to say but for you to decide. I gave you the numbers so you could make a decision for yourself if you were on the fence. If you want my 2 cents, however, on my personal situation, I personally know that I wouldn't be logging into all of the accounts on a systematic basis, so for me this would be way too expensive. And sure, 10 accounts could get me 6,000 to 7,000 gold per year, but that would also mean I would have spent 300 euro, which to me is a very significant amount of money, which I would rather use elsewhere. So I hope that this gives you some insight in the numbers behind alt accounts. If you still have questions or comments, make sure to leave them down below, or you can join our Discord, the link is in the description. If you liked it, please like this video, and it would mean a lot to me if you hit that subscribe button before clicking off.